The greatest crossover between the biggest monsters from Legendary and the greatest heroes from DC Comics has just begun, and today, I'm going to bring you a complete analysis of this first chapter. So finally, we will see who is stronger, Godzilla or Superman. Welcome back to Nerds Insights, your daily nerd news channel. A while ago, I brought you the news that a crossover between the Titans of Legendary and the heroes of the Justice League was announced, called Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong, and the first chapter has finally been released, and I'm going to cover everything that happened. So please leave a like on this video to help boost the channel that is committed to informing you every day about everything that's happening in the geek world. Also feel free to comment on who you think is stronger, Godzilla or Superman. The comic book starts with Clark Kent having a romantic dinner with Lois Lane at the Daily Planet building, and this dinner is taking place there because something important is going to happen. That's where they first met, and it's the ideal location for a marriage proposal. Yes, Clark is going to propose to Lois Lane, but before he could finish the proposal, they hear a very loud and monstrous roar coming from the ocean and feel that this presence is approaching the city. However, the comic cuts to 12 hours before this dinner. The Justice League is already aware that Clark is going to propose to Lois and recruit Supergirl to take his place while he takes the time to have the dinner. But while Green Lantern, Flash, and Supergirl are talking, Superman is in the city fighting a gigantic mechanical gorilla, which is not Kong but a DC monster called Titano. Flash quickly arrives to help Superman, but the Kryptonian had already taken care of the threat on his own and was on his way to Stryker's Island. Flash and Green Lantern accompany Superman and are greeted by Wonder Woman on the island. Wonder Woman says that she is very happy for Superman, and through their dialogue, it becomes clear that this is the same universe as the animated series in which Superman and Wonder Woman had a romantic relationship. But what the Justice League doesn't know yet is that the Titanos' attack was a distraction to divert Superman's attention. This is all part of a plan by the Legion of Doom led by Lex Luthor. After years of searching and research, Luthor finally discovers the location of the Fortress of Solitude. He manages to break into the fortress along with the Legion of Doom to steal artifacts capable of defeating the entire Justice League, including a mother box and Orion's Astro Harness. However, they have to be careful because anything out of place could alert Superman. This is when Toyman grabs an artifact and triggers the alarm, meaning that Superman will arrive at the fortress shortly. Once again, the comic returns to an earlier point in time. This time, we find Clark in his apartment receiving a visit from Bruce Wayne. They discuss the risks of Clark entering into a romantic relationship and putting a target on Lois's back. However, Clark reassures Bruce that he will always protect her, as he has always done. At that moment, Superman receives an alert from the Fortress of Solitude's alarm. As he begins to prepare to leave, Batman tells him to relax because the entire Justice League, along with Supergirl, is already there handling the situation. The battle commences within the Fortress of Solitude, with the Justice League facing off against the Legion of Doom. Amidst the combat, Toyman throws an exploding doll that triggers the mother box. Green Lantern shields the entire Justice League, but the Legion of Doom disappears entirely. They all end up on what seems to be an island, where they spot a military base at the center. As they make their way toward the base, they're attacked by a skullcrawler, signifying they are on Skull Island. That's when Kong, the island's reigning king, appears and defeats the skullcrawler. During this encounter, Gorilla Grodd seems to regard Kong as a deity, and we also notice Kong still bears the scars on his chest, likely from a certain someone. The Legion of Doom reaches the military base, and discovers that the world's geography is different, and they are in another universe. In other words, the Mother Box has teleported them into the multiverse. Toyman is enthralled by the monsters existing in this world and believes they need these titans to defeat the Justice League. However, his companions ridicule and scorn him. Nevertheless, Toyman still has the artifact he took from the Fortress of Solitude, which is a kind of magical stone with the power to manipulate reality according to the user's wishes. He wishes for all the monsters in that world to be sent to our world. Once again, the comic shifts in time, and we return to Clark and Lois having dinner on top of the Daily Planet. At the very moment of the marriage proposal, the king of the monsters, Godzilla, emerges from the ocean and invades the city. Clark then changes into Superman and confronts Godzilla, the mightiest superhero against the mightiest monster of all time. I found this first chapter fantastic, not too slow and not too fast. It prepared the groundwork, and from the next chapter onwards, we'll witness the long-awaited showdown. If you request it in the comments and leave plenty of likes on this video, I'll bring the second part, the complete second chapter, to you, just like I brought this one. So go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel with the bell activated, because here, we have fresh news every day about the nerd universe. Stay tuned, take care, and see you next time.